Joining us now with more, a Republican presidential candidate, Governor Jeb Bush of Florida. Governor, great to see you. First of all, let's ask about that. Do you think there's any chance of a contested convention in this race?
It could be because of the RNC rules of proportionality for a bunch of states in between March 1st and March 15th, but my focus is on the next 3 days here in South Carolina. But it's possible, well, given the large number of people running still, it's possible that you could get to a contested convention. Hadn't happened in a long time.
Today there was big news in South Carolina. You're focused on the next 3 days in South Carolina because the vote is there on Saturday, where the Republican Governor Nikki Haley endorsed Marco Rubio. And just yesterday you had said that this was the most meaningful, probably the most meaningful endorsement if there is one. I mean, I assume you would have liked to have had it. Your reaction to Marco Rubio getting it?
Absolutely, I would love to have had it. And if it's meaningful, having a popular governor endorse you is the best you could get. So kudos to Marco for garnering that endorsement. But it may not matter because endorsements sometimes don't. Governor Haley endorsed Mitt Romney last time, and he came into the state with a big lead, and Newt Gingrich won by 20. So, you know, it's a volatile time. I'm focused on telling people that I have a steady hand, that I have the ability to lead, that I have a proven record, and I have ideas to lift them up, and I have the support of people that understand that we need a commander-in-chief that is capable of leading this country and having the support of showing the support to the armed forces. So that's my message. It seems to be resonating. There's a tracking poll here from the South Carolina legislature that shows a three-way race, dead heat for second place, and I've been moving up, and other candidates have kind of been stalled out at their point, you know, so I'm going to work hard.
You mentioned the commander-in-chief. You, of course, used to be governor of Florida. There's news in their region today, just breaking on ABC News, that within the next month, our current commander-in-chief, Barack Obama, plans to visit Cuba, which would be the first time in 80 years a sitting president has done that. The last was Calvin Coolidge. The price of a house in that year was $7,000. The price of a car was $265. So it's been a while. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, it's a tragedy in my mind that we have diplomatic relations and the president's trying to build legacy here when, if you have a different view than the Castro regime, you're put in prison. The ladies, damas en blanco, the ladies in white, continue to be beat up after Mass on Sundays. Political dissension does not exist. There's very little capitalism. Small businesses don't flourish there. You basically have to deal with the Castro government if you want to do business there.
So you feel he's legitimizing this system?
It breaks my heart. Yeah, it does. Just as we legitimized the regime in Iran by negotiating this agreement, the nuclear agreement, we're doing the same by diplomatic relations. We got nothing in return. And my hope is that Cuba will be free one day, and that's when the president should be going there, not in time when there's no efforts to free the country for its people.
What do you think it says at this point, Governor, that Donald Trump is leading in South Carolina by such a big margin, including with evangelical voters?
Look, it says that people are so angry and so disaffected and have such anxiety that they're willing to latch on a guy who's neither an evangelical nor a conservative nor a Republican in many ways. I mean, and certainly not someone who would have the steadiness that you need to draw people towards our cause as it relates to foreign policy.
He says he's a conservative. He's a common sense conservative.
Yeah, really? Well, his views have shifted on every position, whether it's the pro-life cause, the Second Amendment. It wasn't that long ago he was for a 14.5% tax on assets. He admires the single-payer system. That's not common sense conservatism. In this fight, I think Ted Cruz is probably right.
It was an interesting idea to think of Ted Cruz sitting there taking Donald Trump's deposition. What would happen when Trump objected? Overruled.
What are we talking about here? We're trying to elect a president. We're living in dangerous times, and I think here in South Carolina, particularly where national security issues are really important, it seems to be, at least the people that have shown up at my events, and there are large crowds that do it, they want a commander-in-chief. They don't want an entertainer-in-chief.
Governor, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Megan.
All the best.